Hello, James Smith. Welcome to In This Corner TV, brought to you by Title Boxing. Gear up for greatness and the WBC, Hope and Glory, the Green Belt. At the MGM Grand just a few days before, Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley, the rubber match right down there inside the Grand Garden Arena. We had the opportunity today to speak to Team Pacquiao, the men behind Manny, trainer Freddie Roach, and strength and conditioning guru Justin Fortune. Freddie, before we look forward to Saturday night, let's look back for just a moment to last May and the loss to Mayweather. As a trainer, would you say that was one of the most disappointing nights of your life? Not in your performance, but in the way it ended up.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I expected Manny to fight a much better fight and be more offensive, and it just didn't work out as well as I wanted it to, and a little bit disappointing. And, I know Bob Arum and Manny watched the fight together afterwards with no sound, and they think Manny and them think they got lost, think they got robbed in that fight. And I've never had so many people in the airport tell me I got robbed in a fight. I didn't think Manny won the fight. I thought Mayweather maybe dictated the pace of the fight with his jab, but the thing is, I just thought Manny wasn't busy enough. And but overall, it wasn't the greatest fight in the world, and I expected it to be much bigger.
But how much of that was due to the injury? Obviously having a rotator cuff, that's pretty serious.
Well, the injury came in the fourth round, and going into it though, we thought it was completely healed and 100%. I mean, he was really hitting hard in the dressing room on the mitts and so forth, looking really, very good. But then he told me he said he hurt his shoulder in the fourth round, and unfortunately, I said, do your best, and I think he did his best, and they did what he could.
Everyone's like, well, Freddie should have done this and Freddie should have done this. Like, shut the fuck up. You're not there. You've never been in the ring. You've never been in the corner. You never laced up a freaking glove. So shut your bitching up, for Christ's sake. And then Freddie's not going to push his fighter when the fighter says, my injured or whatever, you can't push him through it because they're going to injure them more. And had we pushed him through it, had we done all the stuff they wanted for, he would have torn that shoulder off.
Nobody's going to be 100% after that, but he says he's good to go.
He's 100%, I think. I mean, both hands are very good. He's hitting hard with both hands. It took us a little bit longer to peak this time because he had such a long layoff. It was the first time he had 11 months to lay off. And it was an awful long layoff for Manny Pacquiao. And he said, Freddie, I didn't realize how hard it is to get back in shape. And he was complaining a little bit when we with the jet lag and so forth when we came to L.A. But then he finally came around and he peaked sparring, and his last two sparring sessions were fabulous. He actually hurt his opponent and went after him, was more aggressive, and I really hope to see that same Manny Pacquiao, that aggressive, go get him type Manny Pacquiao in this fight.
Talk about Manny Pacquiao and where you see him. What are the major differences as a fighter, as an athlete, compared with so many of the other guys you've worked with?
Well, fortunately, I've been working with Freddie's fights, so there are a lot of good world champions. Pacquiao is just special. His speed, his strength, his recuperative powers, and that's it. And his work ethic is huge. He's just a freak, get these athletes in every sport that are freaks. Manny's one of them, and all the basketballs, the baseballs, they all have their special players.
We've already seen this fight. 24 rounds of it. Manny won, in my opinion, both fights. Wasn't given the first one, but you're a strategy guy. You're an Eddie Futch guy, and looking back at it's hard for me to see where Manny could do much better, except maybe set down on his punches and get a knockdown, or a knockout.
Yes, and I told Manny, because he told me this might be his last fight, I said, we got to go out with a bang. And the thing is, this is the perfect way to do it, is to win by knockout. And he agrees with me. I mean, the thing is, he is a lot more aggressive, and punching a lot better. Of course, we have Teddy Atlas on the other side now, saying he's making
your buddy.
He's making him a new fighter. And I says, in your second pro fight with somebody, I don't really think you can change anybody that quickly who's been doing this sport for so long. And but we'll see.
You do strength and conditioning and all that. You're telling me he's there and he's Manny. but mentally, with all the distractions and, you know, with everything that's taken place, are you concerned about any of that with him mentally going into Saturday night against Bradley?
I'll give you, truthfully, I was when we first started, but now, and then I was just watching Timothy against Rios, and and against Vargas, and he was getting hit and hurt, and Rios was out of shape and in no condition to fight, and he was hurting Timothy Bradley. He was hitting him. And I think that if Teddy, and Teddy's style is to fight, Teddy's old school. Just get in there and fucking fight. If you do that with Manny, it's not a good thing.
I think there's a better chance of Freddie and I playing for the Lakers next year than Manny this being his last fight. This will not be his last fight, in my humble opinion.
Well, I kind of agree with you a little bit, but if he becomes senator, it might be too much on his plate. His family's given a little bit of pressure. They want him to retire and be more of a father and just around the family a lot more. But and his whole family did come in for the fight, though. But he is getting pressure from the family, and that's the biggest issue.
Most fighters will quit when they stop earning a bunch of money or they start to get injured. It's dangerous for them. It's no good for their health. Then they'll stop. I don't see him stopping. Not yet. It's up to him, absolutely. I know being a senator and part of his country is also extremely important for him. But, they love him. I don't see why, if there was a major fight out there, something that everybody wanted to see, Manny might get the time off to compete.
All right, look into that camera. Tell the folks what's going to happen on Saturday night.
Pacquiao's getting fired up this time, and I think he's going to knock Bradley out. I know Bradley's a durable guy, and I know he's got the great Teddy Atlas behind him and so forth, but he'll need more than Teddy.
All right, and after the fight, we'll talk about retirement. Yeah, right.
Well, I hope retirement's Terrence Crawford, so we'll see.
All right.